Let me take you to your car. Who's car? Madam, come around here. No, Your Excellency. Excellency. Let's go. Okay. Let's go.
My brother, good to see you. My brother, you are looking so well. This new position, president, is good for you. That's why you president. Okay, Your Excellency. Excellency. I'm here again, sir. You are here again. I'm here again. Thank you for honoring us. Thank you very much.
Republic of Nigeria, 1999 to 2007, Waziri Adamawa Zegebere Chief, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar.
Also to recognize the President of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the host of today's occasion.
For example, the several pledges it made to reduce its pervasive influence on the economy and promote private sector-led development remain unfulfilled. Tell me which promise they have ever made to you and they fulfilled. Come on, be honest. Our administration will be different. We will support the private sector to drive growth. We will and we shall. We will establish strong partnership in investing in infrastructure, in creating jobs and income, and in fight against poverty. We will listen to the private sector more. Understanding the private sector and securing their buy-in when policies are designed will determine the success of our economic growth and development agenda. Through regular dialogue with the private sector, we will build consensus, improve trust between us, and make new reform initiatives easier to implement and sustainable. We will restore investor confidence in the Nigerian economy to take risks and invest capital by taking the following steps. 1, there will be more clarity, coherence, and consistency, what we call the 3 C's in policy. Nothing could be more threatening to investment flows than an environment that is full of policy flip-flops. Our monetary and fiscal authorities will be better coordinated and shall ensure a stable macroeconomic environment with low inflation, stable exchange rate, and interest rates that will be supportive of business quest for credit. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, read my lips. A stable exchange rate, not one Rhina to one US exchange rate dollar. We will allow CBN the independence to pursue its mandate, but ensure that such policies are not detrimental to Nigeria's quest for foreign direct investment and to Nigeria's long-term growth. For example, we will push for a foreign exchange policy that encourages capital inflows and makes capital outflows less attractive to investors. We will take tough and difficult decisions on security matters without fear or favor. Investment is a coward animal and is fearful of conflicts and insecurity. I will break the jinx in infrastructure financing. The government is currently driving key infrastructural programs with very limited private sector participation. In the face of dwindling public revenues and given the quantum of resources required to bridge the financing deficit, This is neither feasible nor sustainable. We shall incentivize with regulation and tax incentives a consortium of private sector institutions to establish an infrastructure debt fund with an initial carrying capacity of USD 20 billion US. This will be for the financing and delivery of large infrastructure projects across all sectors of the economy. We will establish an infrastructure development unit in the presidency with a coordinating function and a specific mandate of working with the NDAs to fast track and drive the process of infrastructure development in the country. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will lead Nigeria out of darkness. Our administration will consider declaring a state of emergency in the power sector to underscore our concerns about the state of affairs in the sector. As a short-term measure to ensure enhanced supply within the first year of the new administration, I shall initiate and implement an emergency power program that can deliver additional capacity in certain areas. Over the medium term, I will then go on to propose a legislation for the removal of the entire electricity value chain from the exclusive list and give states the power to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity for themselves. One lesson we have learned recently is that an industrial dispute with the federal government in Abuja should not affect an industry in Lagos or a factory in Aba or in Kano or even an average Nigerian who just wants to get home after work, watch the news, and sleep under a ceiling fan, not even an air conditioner. Secondly, my policy shall aim at achieving greater coordination of investments in the entire electricity value chain. Investments in additional generation capacity are futile without consideration for the complementary transmission and distribution infrastructure to wield the additional energy. I'd like to tell you a short story of a policy reform I introduced to our government, which would have given Nigeria enough power supply by 2005 before even our leaving office. Unfortunately, that policy was rejected. If we had implemented that policy, we would not be talking about power problems in Nigeria. Thirdly, ahead of procuring additional generation, both transmission and distribution capacity will be enhanced with private sector support for investments. In this regard, we shall incentivize private investors to invest in the development of multiple greenfield mini-grid transmission systems to be looped into the super grid in the medium to long term, while allowing the federal government to focus on policy, regulation, and standardization. I listened to one of my competitors who did not know what is green energy. I will stimulate growth to create jobs and wage war against hunger. The economy must grow for economic opportunities to abound. However, economic growth will be meaningless unless our citizens enjoy the benefits of growth, including access to jobs, higher incomes, and enhanced access to social amenities. Poverty reduction shall be the centerpiece of our economic development agenda, and economic performance shall henceforth be measured by the number of jobs created and the number of people lifted out of poverty. To me, anything the private sector wants, I will give. Can you create more jobs for me? I can reduce taxes for you. I can give you incentives. Can you create jobs for me? Can you help me build a railway line from Calabar to Maiduguri? I give you. What are your payment terms? You want tax-free? You want longer payment terms? I will give you, because I don't, can you tell me if this government has the money to build a railway line from Calabar to Maiduguri? No, we don't have. So if you don't encourage the private sector to come in and do, who will do it for you? Within the first 100 days in office, I will create an economic stimulus fund with an initial investment capacity of approximately 10 billion to prioritize support for MSCs across the economic sectors, as they offer the greatest opportunities for achieving inclusive growth. Today, millions of Nigerians go to bed hungry every day. Nigeria must feed Nigerians. We will pursue an aggressive and innovative food production. Excuse me. This is my water, I manufacture it. Nigeria must feed Nigerians. We will pursue an aggressive and innovative food production policy that will strongly boost farmers' access to farming goods. We will put farmers first. My government will ensure transparency in the access of farmers to seeds, fertilizers, and farm machinery, as well as processing equipment to boost food production and bring down food inflation. So, we will strongly promote private sector investment in agriculture, from seeds to fertilizers, farm chemicals, farm machinery, to expand our competitiveness in national, regional, and global markets for commodities in which Nigeria has comparative advantage. We will support agro-industrial development for major food crops, livestock, fisheries, and invest heavily in irrigation and climate-resilient agricultural systems. We will add value to all of what we produce. These measures are part of the green revolution going on in the world, in globe. Some people say they don't know what is green something. I will undertake far-reaching fiscal restructuring to improve liquidity and the management of our fiscal resources. There are 5 bold steps to be taken. First, undertake an immediate review of government spending with a view to eliminating all leakages arising from subsidy payments. With its current precarious fiscal position and daunting development challenges, can Nigeria really afford to forego critical investments in education, health, security, etc., and channel scarce resources to subsidizing the lifestyle of its elites? No. Second, stop all fiscal support to early stage oil enterprises, as with subsidy payments, by withholding onto these